We are good to go.
When you get a chance, I think you told me that you'd be able to fix the purple orange.
Oh no, that the video part. Oh, you mean for the background of here?
For here and for the outro.
The intro. The intro isn't one I can control. That's just the way we set up the video. The actual logo is the one spinning, and it inverted the background for some reason.
Okay. I can't look
That's
at
just the way the video's set up.
it. I can't look
But
at
I
it.
can fix this one.
Okay. Yeah, I can't look at it. It's shocking. Oh, it's
Yeah, I don't know why the video did it that way, but that's the way it is. Yep.
So good afternoon, folks. I'm in my whisper voice because the baby is asleep. So we're all going to keep our fingers crossed it stays that way. So today is day 1 of co-host number 3 joining us. And I don't know if CrazyBee, can you at least share the pic and then we'll what you doing?
1 second.
Oh, you're fixing it already. You just go,
Yeah,
girl.
why not?
And CrazyBee's doing her thing.
Hold on. All right.
One moment, please. Technical support is
sorry.
in action. Please hold. Oh, not too bad. There's a lot of orange. Can you?
It's because of the way we have everything set up.
That's okay. It just feels like the Rex Sisters part is missing.
Well, yeah, that's what, it's too big. So let me shrink this down a little. And
please hold.
We're going to
technical. There you go. That looks pretty. Technical
it's
support
still not quite lined up right.
Yeah, it could move over a tad. Please hold. Technical support is at it.
Is that better? Except all the blue
good.
around it.
Yeah, that looks nice.
I have issues with all the blue background, but we can fix that later.
We'll fix it later. Yeah, it looks good. Thank you.
Okay.
CrazyBee,
let me pull up that picture.
Yeah, CrazyBee doing a good job as usual.
I'm trying.
Yeah, and this is why we're whispering today.
As soon as I can get my mouse to cooperate, it doesn't love me. Let's bring him into focus, and then we're going to share our picture.
Oh yeah, Miss D needs to be moved over a little bit.
There okay, I will do that.
Okay. There's beautiful baby JJ, co-host number 3, until, what did we say, September of when?
2028.
2028. September of 2028. Everybody will be dealing with this wild man. We had a rough morning today as the first official day, but I got him down. When I walked in, I said, "Good morning, welcome to Nini's daycare. You're going to do what Nini says." So he's in for a little bit of a surprise. But he's been relatively good. But
that's great to hear.
Yeah, he's been doing these goofy catnap things, so I can't make any promises when he wakes up.
And that's perfectly fine. Yeah. When have we complained?
You have not yet. You have yet to hear him scream real loud.
Oh, I've had 2 kids and I've babysat dozens.
Yeah.
Raised a couple for months that weren't even mine. Right. Oh, yeah. Right. I can handle.
Well, I appreciate it, CrazyBee, as you know. Your support means a lot to me.
I'm just glad I can help.
if I didn't have it, I don't know how we'd pull this off. You'd be
Uh,
doing this by yourself.
and I'm not very good at that.
Don't discredit yourself.
I like having people to talk to, so I'm not just talking to myself.
Well, there's a lot more than just talking, I think. There's a lot of work that we both do,
Yeah.
you know, from the tech end to the research end to the trying to work the studio to getting everything together every day.
Um,
It's a lot of work.
I went to pull up the articles from the notes.
Yeah.
And the one about the pennies is
Mm-hmm.
actually food that's good. It's the article from the food being banned. So I have no blazing clue um what to do with that one.
Can you do a quick search for me, please? It was from, I believe, around February of this year. Pennies have now been will no longer be made.
Let me see if I can find an article.
Thank you. Hi, Blue Rose. Thank you for your support. Art says, if I can handle a class full of whiny college students, I think I can handle one little guy who has a reason to be whiny. LOL. Thank you, Art. I appreciate you too. As you guys
I
all know,
definitely appreciate everyone in the audience being awesome.
yes, I've been extremely stressed over this.
Oh, don't stress.
I know, I've been
Little
up
guy doesn't
since,
need you stressing.
I know, I've been up since 4 a.m., so.
I didn't go to sleep till like just before 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel you.
And then I came up here and I have a damn book bag that I have. I feel like it's funny carrying all my stuff. But hopefully I'll have him at my place next week. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that'll make all the difference in the world.
Oh yeah, it will.
Blue, yeah, Blue, we appreciate you. I appreciate the support and the
Very much.
yeah,
Yep.
and the info that you provide and the translations as well.
Translations are always helpful. I like native speakers because my Spanish, nope, you don't want me translating it.
I'm gonna get kicked out. I don't. Am I
Oh
here?
boy.
Nope.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Am I with you?
Evidently, she cannot hear us again.
CrazyBee, can you hear me? Nope. Go out.
Sleep. I am an old man. We're like rust. We never sleep. Yeah, I don't sleep very well either. Um, Interestingly enough, my body is like, you know what? You don't need this sleep. What are you talking about?
And we're
What
back.
is this sleep thing?
Mhm.
Hello, D.
I'm back.
Yep.
Sleep? I'm an old man. We're like rust. We never sleep. I think that goes for women too, though, Art.
Oh, yeah. Very much.
Hmm. I miss sleep. That used to be my hobby. Now
Oh,
it's gone.
bugger me. Headset wants to die on me. Where the hell did my case go? Oh, no, not today. Nope, not allowed today. Oh, found it. Okay. Whew,
Got
thank
it?
you, God.
It's not under the bed?
Yeah, for the
There
moment.
you go. Alright, guys, so before we get in today, oh my gosh, I pray that's not going to be the
We'll learn to talk yet, I
first.
promise.
Okay, hold on. Let us pray. Let's have a good show today, guys. Alright, so a couple things. The first thing I wanted to talk about was we've had some questions or misconceptions about programming that I wanted to identify. When CrazyBee and I started talking about doing a podcast, she went out and looked at StreamYard, Rumble, Evmux, which we are currently using, a couple other platforms. And in order to do so, she created questions that need answers. And she played around with the various programs to see what she liked. And I think we mentioned before that ultimately we came down to using EvMux, EVMux, as some people call it. We thought that
Mhm.
gave us the biggest bang for our buck. It did more than a lot of programs, including StreamYard, that many people use. There's additional components that you get on EvMux that you don't on other platforms. So, with that being said, before I was ready, she started working and learning how to use the studio. So then, after that, when we were ready to launch Wrecked Sisters, that is the master, or what I like to call the umbrella of the programming. So, Wrecked Sisters discusses politics. We do our deep dives, anything that we care to discuss, family, as you know, kids, whatever the subject matter may be. Then underneath that comes questions that need answers. So that falls under the Wrecked Sisters umbrella, and that is where CrazyBee does whatever topic floats her boat, or she'll do a deep dive. Usually the episode is one particular subject matter, and it could last anywhere from 20 minutes to maybe 3 hours, depending on what her subject is. She has talked about glitter, the Pope, the cartels. You can go check her out.
History.
History. That's her biggest thing. That's her jam. She likes history. So, and he's crying. And hold on one moment, please.
He's a little fussy. Oh, I want to just give him hugs. I hear the little guy. He's too precious. We're going to have to get a baby cam, set it up, create an account, and have him as a co host on here. I think that would be a perfect way to incorporate JJ so we can watch him sleep and start fussing and crying.
Okay, so then underneath, so then we have questions that need answers, as I mentioned. But then also we have the product Insomniac Theater, which is my my baby, which I had hoped to launch after Labor Day, but given my summer schedule, we probably won't pull that off till after New Year's of 2026.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be kind of like our entertainment channel. Music, all the recipes, you name it, men bashing. You know, we're going to talk about families, our husbands, significant others. Men are more than welcome to join in, but we're not quite sure you're going to win any arguments, but we're down for whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
we kind of don't know quite yet how that's going to get set up, but that's for the future and to work on. So I just wanted that to be uh, put out there. Now, on questions that need answers, I strongly suggest that everybody go check out what CrazyBee has done. She's put a lot of work into a lot of subject matters, and while you might not want to look at every single video, there might be something that floats your boat. She did a thing on we have a glitter shortage in America. Who knew? She did things. Is the Pope video still up, or did you have to take that
Yes. No, the Pope video is still up.
down?
And oh, I forgot. While I'm on this, I need to go pull the Lady Hamilton link
Yes.
for the crossover we did.
Yes. And that was on Ezekiel, correct?
The Moses Ezekiel, and that
Correct.
was Saturday, this
Which,
past Saturday.
correct, which CrazyBee had done a piece under Wrecked Sisters regarding him. He was one of the statues that had been
It was under
pointed out.
questions that need answers.
The whole thing?
Hmm.
I thought we mentioned it here, though.
Oh,
Maybe.
we might have told people to go look at it,
Okay.
but
So
no, it
she,
was
yeah.
recorded under.
Okay. So from there, there was a invite or discussion with Lady Hamilton Art, who is on Rumble, and CrazyBee and Lady Hamilton did a very nice piece on Saturday night at 7 p.m. So you can go check that out. Now, CrazyBee, will you have a copy of that under questions that need answered?
I am putting it in the description, and yes,
Okay.
I will do a crossover. I don't know how I'm going to pin it in Rumble, but I will find a
Okay.
way to do
Okay.
so.
So it's just, it was a very nice discussion between another content creator and CrazyBee herself, and of course my comments in the live chat are always entertaining. But it was very nice that the CrazyBee had an invite to another platform,
Yeah.
and so uh, we also did a questions that need answers this past, was that yesterday? No, it was Sunday, because I made you take off yesterday. So on Sunday, CrazyBee did questions that need answers, which discussed the long-term use of Benadryl. We also discussed foods that were supposedly taken off the market by RFK, ultimately to find out that that was not true, but we still reviewed it anyway because he's looking into the dyes. And then
Hmm.
we did a
We
special on Indiana's SNAP and Medicaid
benefits.
programs, benefits that were being taken away. And
Well, no, they were just limiting what you can buy on the SNAP
well,
benefits.
that, but they're also, I don't know if in the info, some of them though are being, different states are having reductions in SNAP and Medicaid.
Hmm.
Um, one of the states has over 800,000 people that are coming off the rolls. We should have looked up in,
Wow.
yeah, we should have looked up Indiana. I didn't think about it till just now. But we also had a special guest named Faye the
Faye.
entire day, and she gave us input on all of the areas we discussed. So I'd like to give a plug and a shout out to Faye. Thank you.
She is a good friend.
Mm-hmm. And if if you're interested, go check that out. We have future plans made. For example, putting timestamps on our videos so that if there was a particular area you were interested in, you could just go to there. We have a lot of things that we'd like to do, but it's just the two of us, and it's difficult. I don't want to say difficult, but it's a lot of work to pull off what content we do put out. So, um, just know that, we have these different areas. Everything does come under the umbrella of Wrecked Sisters being like the master or the umbrella, as I said, and then everything else we do comes under there. We've created, if you go into YouTube, CrazyBee did a fantastic job on doing affiliates, which you'll see. And then we also have listed friends of the channel, which are true friends. We're just not blowing smoke. Uh, and they're people that we know directly and that we would suggest you go and check out their content. And right now, I believe we have common censored, we have unique prepping, we have.
Oh, did I add LV Nation? Oh, let me go back.
I thought you did.
Oh, I think I did, but let me go double check.
I think you did. LV Nation, and we will only put on or recommend.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Okay,
I got to add them.
okay.
Let me do that really quick.
I think we discussed the video, is what I think we might have done. But friends of friends of our channel will only be true friends of the channel. You know, people that we know directly and that we support. So, you know, we suggest that if you click on the more under our description, you'll find all that information in there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out to us and we'll try to help you as best we can. With that being said, we're going to go into the weekend that CrazyBee and I both had. Do you want to start yours, CrazyBee, or do you want me to tell mine?
You go ahead first. I am still adding him to channels.
Okay, I gotcha. So the first thing that happened was, well, I ended up staying home and getting rid of the entire family, thinking I was going to get things quite accomplished. But the baby ended up getting shots on Friday, and he also had a live oral, whatever you call it, a live virus, just dumped into his mouth. And he was told, and EJ was told, tell everybody do not kiss him on the lips for 48 hours because you will get sick. So, first off, I kept calling it the rhinovirus. And CrazyBee will tell you what it actually is when I'm done with the story.
Rota, the
The
rotavirus.
rotavirus, which is over January and February, a large portion of Americans got this virus, which included throwing up, severe diarrhea, and it lasted, you know, anywhere from 2 to 6 to 8 weeks, and it was pretty severe. I actually know somebody that had it for over a month and was deathly ill from it. So, the baby gets this oral vaccine, and EJ puts him in the car seat, and he goes out to the front desk. He sets the car seat on the floor, and he's getting ready to check out. And the baby spits his pacifier out onto the floor. EJ bends over, picks up the pacifier, sticks it in his mouth, and the next thing you know, the nurse that just walked out of the office and the girl at the checkout desk scream at him, "What did we tell you?" And I can't give the scream because the baby's right here. But they said, "What did we tell you not to do when you just did it?" And he goes, and there's people in the waiting room. He goes, "Oh, fuck." He put it in his mouth. So they sent him into the bathroom to wash his mouth out with water. So he goes in, he rinses it with water, and he spies the bottle of hand sanitizer, and he pumps the hand sanitizer into his mouth and starts to swish his mouth with hand sanitizer.
Oh my God.
Then he rinses it
I
with
still
water.
can't imagine how the hell he did that. I'd be throwing up.
Well, when he called me, you know, from the truck to tell me what he did, he's going, blah, blah. I'm like, what's your problem? And then he tells me the story. He's like, I'm going to get sick. I'm going to be deathly ill. I said, I don't know what to tell you, but, you know, I was laughing my ass off. I said, stop and get some Pepto-Bismol or Imodium. I don't know what else to tell you. Fortunately, he didn't get sick. So then the next thing that happened, to which CrazyBee is lucky we even have a relationship still, is we were on the phone planning today's programming. And I had been working in the hall. I had told her I had boxes that I had to open from Amazon and Walmart and clean up. And I said, if I'm making too much noise for you, you're just going to have to let me know and we'll have to talk later. So I'm working away. I have a knife in my hand. I'm cutting boxes and, going through stuff that, sorting stuff and whatever. And my back was to the door and I'm facing into the living room. So we're talking, and it must have been for a good 15 minutes or whatever. And the next thing you know, I hear, "Hey." And I turn and I see somebody's face
Oh,
and body pressed against the glass, smashed. I was so scared. I screamed at the top of my lungs. So
and
much
I
so
busted up
that it
laughing.
caused CrazyBee to go into an asthmatic attack that she had to put on her frickin', she had to take a breathing treatment. Here it was my husband, Eric, who thought it was hysterically funny. Oh, yeah. And
I
there
did.
are,
I
so
thought it was absolutely funny. I agree
yeah,
with him.
yeah. And I just said to CrazyBee, I'm like, that's just nice, you bitch. Some frickin' friend you are. She goes, well, if it would have been anybody else other than Eric, I would have called 911 for you. And I'm like, well, that's ever so kind. She couldn't breathe. She was, I'm telling you, when I finally laid down, my heart was still in my stomach, I think, from being so scared. Eric said to me, "Dee, I saw you levitate off the chair." He was beside himself. She was beside herself. I think that was extremely rotten from the both of them. I don't know
Hey,
why
but
I'm
you know what?
talking to either
There's
one.
gonna be a day there's gonna be a day you come down or visit me or I'm visiting you, and
Uh-huh.
you're gonna have a shit ton of fake spiders
Uh-huh.
ready to go.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just laugh at it after I
Hey,
freak out.
hey, maybe not even fake. Maybe I'll bring some live ones. Although I'd have to dump them out of a jar because I couldn't pick them up with my hand. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, with friends like these and a husband like that, you know what I mean? Still carrying on like this after, we'll be together a total of 50 years come this November. We'll be married 43 years in July. That we're still playing games like this. So I just said to him, payback's a bitch, as they say. Oh, he's going to get
Uh-huh.
his. I was never so scared in my life. I didn't, when I turned and saw him pressed against that glass and his body was up in the glass and I didn't recognize him at first. It was a lot, it was ear piercing, wasn't it, CrazyBee?
Oh, it was funny. Um, Art wants to chime in. My friends and family don't do that sort of thing. I'm generally armed, so not a good idea.
Maybe that's what I need to start doing.
Well, that's okay. Danny comes strolling through the door early today. He got off of work early because their computers went down. And I'm like, who's here? And he's
Right,
not saying anything. I'm like, who's here? I'm like, dude, you better start speaking up because one of these times you're going to find out the hard way.
right. JJ,
I don't play.
yeah, JJ, I'm reading your voice that my voice is rough and low. I'm
It's the
congested.
baby.
Yeah, and I'm low because the baby is finally asleep right next to us. So I'm trying to be quiet. He had a rough morning today, so I'm trying to be as quiet as possible. So I just
Yep.
got him done before we went live, so I swaddled his ass. So we'll house. Hopefully, he'll stay down for a while.
We made a baby burrito.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, baby burrito. No offense, Blue Rose.
And no, we're not cannibals.
No, we're not. So I'm actually trying to whisper into the tablet, but so
Well, if we were able to hook up your one portable wireless microphone
we
with to
will.
the tablet, you
Yeah.
wouldn't have to worry about it because it'd be close enough that it would pick up loud and clear.
Okay, well, I'll charge it and then we'll bring it up tomorrow and see how that works. All right?
Like I'm whispering too. I don't know why. It's not like he can really hear me,
I know, but
but
if well, this morning when we were talking, we were
he
live,
liked my
so
voice.
yeah, so he's just got to get used to everybody.
Yeah.
So CrazyBee, and then what happened during your weekend this week?
Oh, okay. So my weekend was crazy. Saturday morning, we went to get the last of the stuff for my daughter's graduation,
Oh,
and
wait
while
a
we were
second,
out, they
hold on.
insist.
Wait a second, hold on. Wait 1 minute. So Friday night late, you and I were talking about getting the Lady Hamilton stuff and all that, and so
Oh
you were
yeah,
right. So you were going over your list of items that you needed to get, and I said, and she's going down forks, plates, napkins, whatever. I said, well, what about charcoal? And she screams, "Fuck, Danny, charcoal!" And he, guess, was sleeping, and he's like, "Huh? What?" And she's like in a pan, like, the charcoal. We didn't get charcoal, and I'm like, that would have been pretty funny going to the park with 32 hamburgers plus hot dogs and everything, and she would have had nothing to cook on. She says to me, "Well, I guess everybody would have been using sticks then." I said,
yep.
"Okay." So
Collect
then from
sticks and we'll
there,
light them up.
yes, so then from there, then the story continues Saturday morning. Go ahead.
And that's when we went to go pick up the last of the stuff we needed. And on the way home, my daughter is adamant that golf commentator syndrome. Okay. All the golf JJ says we sound like the golf commentators. Um but my daughter insisted we had to drive by the park to see if it was busy or not. Well, they didn't know which park. So we're driving all around town because there's 5 parks in this tiny little town. Go figure. One, a couple of them took out their barbecue grills,
Why'd they
and
do
the
that? Explain why
I
they do that.
homeless people in the
Mm-hmm.
area.
Right,
They don't need them having fires all night and day.
right.
So they took those out. Of the 2 parks that did have the barbecue grills, they were already booked up, like insane booked up. So we ended up having to do this at home anyways.
Because I did ask you also, what? Are you
About the
required?
permits.
Yeah, I said, are you required to have permits? I said, because in my city, they open up the parks for use in the summertime. You have to pay a permit in order to use any shelter, any open area, and that starts in January. So if you try to go at the end, say the beginning of May, you might as well forget it. Um, hey, Frosty Pimpanon, nice to meet you. Glad you could join us
Oh, they're
today.
back from last time we were live.
Okay, it's quiet day today here, only because of the baby. So go ahead. So you didn't. There was no wait. Art says I asked a student what you need to start a car. He says compression, spark, cranking speed, and oh shit. Yes, a couple of gallons of oh shit from the toll room and get back to me. LOL. Okay then.
I would think a key to turn over the ignition would be a really good. Well, I mean, you don't need a key, screwdrivers, or you hot wire it, which I've done before when my vehicle. Actually, I had fun with a vehicle I lost the keys to. Luckily, it was a manual transmission, so all I had to do was have my friends help push it till we could coast it enough to jump it.
Yeah,
But
but the
that's
couple,
old school.
yeah, and to get a couple of gallons, would that have been gas?
Yeah, I would assume.
Okay, yep. So
Couple
go ahead.
gallons of oh shit usually means gas that they forgot.
Right. So then what happened after everybody was home? How long did
Then we
it
find
take?
out that some people overslept. Other people weren't going to be able to make it. They'll be here in a day or two. Um, yeah. So we ended up with lots of hamburgers and hot dogs to eat. And
And
yes, you were right, fuel.
yeah, and you said that it took what, like over an hour to get everything cooked, right?
Yep, and to get it started, because you gotta get the charcoal, heated up, and so it's not all flames and tasting like chemical and all that.
Right,
You gotta get it to the, ashy color,
right,
and then you got cook all of them, flip this, move that, do this. Oh, yeah, it took a bit to get most of the food cooked up for the 6 of us that were here, but we
right,
had a lot of fun. We did,
right.
and, oh my god, that cake was a hit. That triple chocolate fudge, oh my
Wow.
god, I would eat that again. I'm tempted to send them up to go get another one just so I can eat, like, a fourth of it to myself.
No, after you had those mini oatmeal cookies, you have to
Oh,
wait
the
till
oatmeal
next
raisin
week.
cookies. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still fat from that. Oh
Well,
god.
yeah, she told me that she ate all these mini oatmeal cookies, and I said to her, well, in my opinion, it takes four minis to make one regular oatmeal cookie. So, with that being said, we figured out that she was okay, but she's still trying to say
I ate 4 whole cookies.
well, some,
That's fat.
no, sometimes shit happens. You know what I mean? I've been known to eat
Uh,
that.
oh,
Uh,
Blue says oatmeal cookies are her jam.
oh, I like them with raisins and nuts in them.
Mhm. I don't mind chocolate and raisins combined, and then it's like those Raisinets. You can even use the
Oh,
Raisinets in the
yeah.
oatmeal cookies. Oh, I could live on that.
Yeah, that would
Um,
be good.
as much as I could live on it, I'd probably not be looking. I'd probably look like those Instagram model people that I don't want to look like. Uh, God will get me for that one, but it's
I
true.
hear you. I hear you. All right, so with that all being said, let's see here. Oh shit! I just knocked my pop over. Son of a gun, and I don't. Mother effer. Mother. Here we go. It's on now. Hold on. Go ahead,
Yep,
laugh. Go ahead, laugh.
I do.
I know. I'm glad you
Because
did.
one day I'm going to be the grandmother. Fingers crossed, knock on
Excuse
wood.
me. The what?
Oh, well, you call yourself Nini. I would call
Oh,
myself a
I'm
grandmother.
too
It'll be
young
me.
to. I'm too young to be a grandma. What are you talking about? I would.
Crazy bee description of the food is making me hungry. It is
Oh,
lunchtime on the left coast. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Oh, but we did make some damn good cheeseburgers. Oh, those were amazing.
yeah. She's trying to tell
And
me
we
that
still have a
she
ton of
has.
them left.
Yeah, and she's trying to tell me she has all this food left over, and I'm like, well, just take the burgers, smash them up, and you could have meat sauce and spaghetti, and you could smash them up and make sloppy joes. You just don't gotta have hamburgers. You could use them unless you have like those 500 buns still left over that you bought.
We do. We have plenty of buns left over.
Well, then the buns would go with the sloppy joes, right?
Mhm.
Okay, well, there you
Yep.
go.
JJ says my um my nana My boys call their grandma or Jima. Yeah, my kids said use Nana too. I don't care. There's nothing wrong with being the elder matriarch of the family. It was an honor back in the day.
Would you like to repeat that again, please? I think I misheard you. What did you say?
The
Go
elder
ahead.
matriarch.
The you it couldn't be just matriarch. You had to put elder in front of it? Okay.
Yes, I don't mind being the elder matriarch. It would not be a problem for me.
Oh,
The
Jesus.
wise and experienced daycare lady. Let's not be offensive. LOL.
I just sent you a photo. Uh, this is hopefully what we'll get between 3 and 5 o'clock. Fingers crossed.
Oh.
This is what my goal is every day. And once he's at my house, I'll have him further away than right beside me. So I don't know if you. There we go. Now look at how he worked his arm out of the
Mhm.
burrito.
Yep.
Yep.
He's a smart little guy.
Hmm. So my
Oh,
man. Anyway,
Pimp Frosty Pimpanon says the matriarch wields much power.
this is
Mhm.
true. I would agree with that statement.
That's why I don't mind being the elder matriarch, and I don't care about the word elder. I get gray hair. I'm not dyeing my hair to hide the grays. I dye my hair because it's
Uh,
fun. But yeah, I've got gray hair at 42 years old. I'm
shut
not
up and
hiding it.
talk.
I'm getting old. Part of
My
life.
here's the problem. Mine is white, not gray, and I mean, you can't get much whiter than I am. I mean, like, I'm white. There, I don't even know what. So white hair with a white, oh, that just doesn't match. So yeah, we dye our hair, but whatever.
JJ says then our boys upgraded from Gma to Grangelama.
Oh, I like that.
Little
You're
Houdini,
good.
give him
Yeah, give
time.
him time. I know.
Oh, didn't we suggest something on the lines instead of calling it swaddling? It was a straitjacket for babies.
Uh huh. Yep. Yep.
I'm bad like that. I know. I am.
But at least he's asleep with no bottle and no pacifier, so I'm happy.
Yep.
Yep. So
I remember when they used to insist pacifiers would cause you to have an overbite.
yeah. Hmm. I would like to. I'd like to come up with a something that keeps the pacifier in their mouth, which isn't
Duct
duct
tape.
tape.
Duct tape fixes everything.
There we go. Yep.
Uh, then my mother-in-law changed her license plate to Grange, LOL. My mother-in-law is based.
There you go.
Nice.
Sweet.
Very nice.
All right. So we have. What do we got going on today, CrazyBee?
Well, our first one is this new strain of COVID that's coming
Okay.
out.
Wait. 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 Take that off. Take that off.
Okay.
Where's did you pull the United Healthcare stuff?
Oh, you said we were just going to drop that in the link and only talk about it.
Oh, I wanted you to show the pages though, so they could
Oh,
see it.
okay.
You have them?
I can pull those up really quick. That only takes a
Okay.
minute.
If you recall, last week I discussed United Healthcare getting themselves into a little bit of a jam, and we reviewed the article. We'll see if CrazyBee has it.
Let me pull up the article first.
Here's Art. Jeez.
There we go.
Uh, so
Oh,
this,
no, hold on. Get rid of that. There it is.
yeah, there it is. So this was where they secretly paid the nursing homes to reduce hospital transfers. That's dropped in the chat. I mean, dropped in the description. And from there, there is an article where this was the one that I told you that the next day they made a statement.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. It's kind of hard to explain this when I didn't even share it to them. I forgot to put it up on the screen.
That's okay. All right, so that's what we
So,
talked about on Friday, or I believe it was.
uh-huh.
Okay,
And then this
you,
was
you
their response to that article.
correct. Now I want to know how they were able to reply the next day when the article just came out the day before.
Yep. They knew
Okay,
it was coming. The
all
article,
right.
the news report, the news group, the Guardian, probably reached out that for to them for comment days in advance, and they had it ready.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to drop that in the description for your review. And as a result of this occurring, what happened, I believe the date is on the
Was this
article.
one?
Yes,
Their stock.
plummeted that same day that they made the rebuttal. So that, I mean, it plummeted. So that'll be in the description below as well. We're not going to waste time going over that. If you're interested in it, it's in the description below.
Yep.
Okay? All right, so
And
then here's the newest, hottest topic going on. CrazyBee and I have not. Oh, it really, Frosty? Wow.
I wasn't going to interrupt your reading. I was just pulling it up, but I'm glad you noticed it.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I'll bet you they walked away with all their pension and everything and their stocks intact. We'll see.
Because they resigned instead of being forcefully removed.
Yeah, Frosty, I'll see if I can find the article or something on that. And if I can, I will drop that tomorrow or later this week in one of the descriptions. Thank you. We appreciate it. Um, Now, this story just came out this morning. CrazyBee and I have not delved into it. We wanted to bring it to your attention, and we will continue to do a deep dive into it and see what the heck is going on. CrazyBee, I got to attend a couple things. Could you read that article?
Yes, I can.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, a new COVID variant, NB181, is causes surge in China, spreading in U.S. So remember COVID-19? Yeah. Um, we all remember it over the past month and continues. That illness that's killed around 350 people a week in the United States over the past month and continues to leave more and more people with long COVID. Remember the severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus, too? That's still spreading, mutating, varianting, and subvarianting, which is exactly what viruses do. Some do it fast, some do it slow. Biology 101. Actually, I believe I learned this in high school. But, I don't want to cause too much of a stir and get us in trouble. So, just going to refresh everyone on biology. That's exactly what viruses do. They mutate in the attempt to not, eliminate their host because, it's supposed to be a symbiotic type of thing. So the virus can survive and we can survive as well. Anyways, the subvarianting and causing COVID-19. Well, nota bene, um, there's a new variant of SARS-CoV-2 in town, and it's called NB181 variant. And it has been causing COVID-19 surges in China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan, and is now spreading in the US. Um, I lost my place. Oh, XEC and LF7 are past their peak, while LP81 is currently dominant in the US. NB181 is the latest of the alphabet soup of SARS-CoV 2 variants that deserves close attention. Each SARS variant and subvariant emerges and spreads quickly, and then are rapidly supplanted by a new variant and subvariants that spread faster. Oh, so everyone remember the Spanish flu, the one where we're still battling 103,
Some years.
no, 100 and how many years later? Let's see, it was 1918 to 25. So 107 years we've been battling the flu and the flu variants. Same thing. So 100 years from now, we'll still be having people getting sick from it. I'm not trying to downplay it. I'm just, correlating so you guys can see
Right, and again,
that
just as a
it's
reminder, we are not.
just a reminder we're not giving medical advice.
That's correct.
I'm just, giving an example of one that's much more familiar to the population. I am not downplaying this in any way, fashion, or form. NB 181. Oh, I already read that. They're spreading faster, but some have caused more problems than others, like many other viruses that are out there that we battle every year. I think I may have finally had COVID a couple of weeks back. I didn't test. However, my brother said he had very similar symptoms and tested positive for COVID. Yeah, it's not fun. I mean, my first bout with COVID, I felt like there was a damn elephant sitting on my chest. It literally felt like I had pneumonia and the flu at the same time. It is not fun, and it should not be taken lightly.
Right.
Especially if you have underlying health conditions. Definitely get treatment. Um, and that's as far as I'm going to go with my suggestions.
Mm.
Global Virus Tracking reports. Oh, they used to follow the flu until COVID happened. Then they stopped
Yes.
tracking the flu. I
Correct.
think they might be tracking it again. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that one.
Right.
Um,
And what's funny
cold,
is
not could.
before,
I
remember,
figured.
yeah, remember
So the global
before,
virus
hold
tracking
on,
from the
Crazy Bee,
scientific community, which
Crazy
continues to
Bee,
work together and collaborate worldwide,
Crazy
suggests
Bee,
that XEC variant that I
Crazy
described for
Bee.
Forbes back in sorry?
Okay, finally you can hear me. Didn't prior to COVID, wasn't the flu the biggest thing that we had going on as far as they wanted vaccines and it caused so many deaths in the United States and around the world that it kind of was like the biggest thing,
Yeah.
and that they tracked it, right? And then once
Yes.
and then once COVID hit, they stopped.
Let me Google that really fast because I said I believe they stopped tracking it, but I need to double check if they've started tracking it again.
Okay, so why did they stop tracking it? Do you recall?
Something about COVID being more important. Okay, yes, the flu is still actively being tracked along with COVID. It's not just, but they did stop it during COVID's initial
Well, you
outbreak.
know what? That's true because the new testing kits that you can get includes COVID and the flu. What is
Flu
it?
A and B usually.
Okay. All right. I
Yep.
apologize for interrupting. I was just
Oh
trying to
no,
get
it's okay. I
clarification.
couldn't
I
hear
was
you,
trying to get,
so
that's
that
okay. I was trying to get clarification on that.
yeah. So it is back being tracked. Flu and probably RSV in kids are the biggest issues before COVID, and the flu was only estimated based on reported hospitalizations.
Hmm.
Well, I am a big fan of CrazyBee from her Game Like a Mom channel to Questions That Need Answers. Thank you for joining Blue Queen. Oh, I see. You're responding to Blue Rose. Okay.
Oh, yes. Oh, wait. Oh, we have another blue in the house then. So we have Blue
Oh,
Rose.
Blue Queen.
And we have Blue
Not Blue
Queen
Rose.
24. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Okay. I'm
tired of eating your hair.
Well, I'm sorry my hair falls out. So, back in December of 2024 is largely on its way out, except for in Japan. Meanwhile, LF7 seems to have gone the way of the TV series NCIS and already peaked. Okay, that's an odd correlation to make.
Yes.
Um, right now, the dominant variant in North America, parts of South America, and much of Europe and South Africa is LP81. They are literally just repeating themselves. Anyways, this variant was first detected in September of 2024, and by the end of 2024, it was spreading around the globe. It has been effectively the variant of this past winter. That explains some of the major. Well, no, because I got tested for COVID twice end of last year, and they always said it wasn't COVID. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the hell I had,
But
but it
they
is.
didn't say it was the flu.
Nope, not the flu and not COVID.
Hmm.
I get that a lot. I'm usually one of the first ones to get the new variants.
Wow.
So, NB181 and XFG are currently spreading the fastest. Okay, so this spring has seen a rise in XFG variants and a recombinant of LF7 and LP81.2, 8.1.2. They sound like a computer, like a program update at
Yes.
this point. Like,
Yes.
seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was first found in Quebec in early February, and U.S. testing started detecting the variant near the end of the month. That month, by the end of April, XFG comprised of about 10% of all SARS samples sequenced in North America and Europe. Okay, so kind of like a repeat from when the Spanish flu had its outbreak in 1918. Now, 107 years later, we still have many variants of it, some worse than others, some not as bad, depending on your health, your age, all that great stuff. Talk with your doctor. That's the best I will
Ridiculous.
say
Yeah.
because I don't want to get in trouble.
Correct. And
But, you know,
yes, and as information is released, we will continue to provide it to you. But given that this has just popped as of, is today the 25th? I don't even know what day it
um,
is.
27th.
Okay, so we're 2 days behind. Um, but this just hit our feed today. So,
Well, we had the busy weekend. That's
yes,
why.
that's true. And I made you take off yesterday, so CrazyBee was going to work, and I said, sorry, it's a federal holiday. So he
Even
was,
though technically you don't have a say over it, I'm just having fun and going with it.
well, I am your elder, so don't start your
Yeah,
shit.
how you gonna stop me?
Yeah, I have my ways. There will come a time, girl. You know that. Yeah, all this shit, I'm tacking it all up.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. You're gonna put me into another asthma attack.
I hope so. Thank you, Blue Queen. Boost the algorithm, hit the like, comment, subscribe, share the live, and stream it. Absolutely. We need all the frickin' help we can get.
Hold on. Many years ago, I remember Dr. Macquarie saying COVID would become the next circulating cold virus over some period of years. We just don't know how long that will take. And I mean, again, not trying to downplay any of the conditions that are out there right now, but back even in like 2005 or six, there was a COVID
Mm-hmm.
outbreak, but it
Yes.
wasn't COVID-19.
Right.
Um,
And I
volcano
think,
mind melt from D.
what's that? Volcano what? Vulcan?
Volcano mind melt. And I don't know if he means Vulcan mind meld.
I don't get the reference, JJ.
I'm leaning towards Star Trek.
I am
But
too, but I still don't get the Star Trek reference.
psychic frying pan headed your way.
Thank you, Art. He knows. Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got plenty of time to dodge. No, Mr. Spoke.
He means Spock, I think.
Uh, or misspoke. Um,
I'm so
or
confused.
it was a spin-off type thing that makes fun of it. Oh no, Mr. Spock.
Spock.
Okay.
Okay. I thought
I
so.
thought it was a I thought it was a Vulcan mind meld instead of volcano mind melt. But
Oh,
both are
God.
epic. I will give it that.
That's funny.
Um,
Okay,
our next
so
article.
hold on. So with this variant, I'm wondering if this is the one that Fauci said was going to hit under Trump's administration. And would this be a big to-do, do you think?
Um, I personally cannot give my opinion here.
Okay. Okay, so I'll just
That's
ask
what
the
we can talk
question.
about on the Discord server.
Okay, so I'll just ask the couple questions, and that is, in the event that something again like COVID would happen, do you think that the American people would stand for another lockdown? Do you think that they would stand for 6 feet distancing? Do you
Oh,
think
I
they
don't
would?
think it would work this time,
Okay.
unfortunately. No.
You think they would
Because
stand
Fauci
for?
made the ridiculous mistake of putting it publicly. He had publicly said something about it being an arbitrary number.
Okay.
And that spread super fast. So I don't think that would work. Lockdowns, depending on your health. Me personally, I'm locked down anyways. I'm in my house because of my bad
Right.
back. But
But
even if I
no, I
wasn't with
mean
my
like the
asthma,
government. I mean the government coming in and saying businesses are shut down
oh,
again.
oh no, if the government were to enforce it, probably not. But I would suggest that people with compromised health conditions stay home as much as
Yeah.
possible.
And
And again, that's just common sense. It's not
right,
even medical advice. That's what we
right.
call common fucking sense.
Mm-hmm.
But no, if the government were to come in and try to force it, I don't think it would go as well as it did last time. And
Right,
it didn't go well last time.
right. And what about wearing masks? What about getting vaccines? Do you think that they would go for all of that again?
Um,
I think personally, I think that everybody would be like, give you a big FU and be like, nope.
I have a feeling that would be the case because again, they went and said, wear these masks, but um the fabric ones, I'm not talking the surgical or the N95s.
95s, right?
I'm just talking the little, basically your t-shirt over your face ones.
Right,
Those were, I don't know. Because I mean, me, after working in the medical field and understanding the microbiology of viruses and how they transmit and everything, and your t-shirt over your face is basically what some of those cloth masks were.
right.
And it's like, how, like, I don't think, a lot of people didn't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And with the this current stuff going around, the stuff in the government, what they're talking about, the on the different social medias where they're literally breaking it down and explaining to people, look, this doesn't make any medical sense, even though you should always follow your doctor's instructions. I'm adding this in there. I'm just not saying I promote this stuff. We can
Right.
talk about it on Discord. Um, but um, honestly, the cloth masks, I think, were the biggest sham of it all.
Mm-hmm.
If they really wanted to protect people, N95s would have been their best bet. And yes, that requires everyone going in and getting fitted. And yes, I've been fitted for an N95 before in my life. Joys of having to be on prednisone in massive doses
And
from a
is
very young age,
it
still having to go
when
to school.
when you get an N95, is that a one-time purchase?
Um,
And something that you clean or?
That's the thing is there's different forms. There are N95s with replaceable filters that have to be replaced every 8 hours.
Okay.
Are the disposable ones that have to be thrown out every 8 hours.
I see. All right. So we will continue to
So yeah,
bring you
N95s are
updates.
not a cheap thing to just go and. I mean, you can go and buy an N95 from Walmart, but it's not going to be a
Right.
medical grade one. It's just a construction grade.
Right. All right. So questions that you have regarding COVID or anything that we've talked about relevant to this. Hi, baby. How you doing? Do you have a good day at school? Okay. Nini's got about an hour. Okay. So any questions that anybody has regarding COVID or this new variant or anything that we just discussed, please join us on the Discord or ask questions on the Discord so that we're not
Hmm.
in trouble with YouTube
And I do
or
see the comments, but to not get us kicked off of any variation of
we're not
social
going to
media
show them
platform
or
we are
say
using,
them.
I I can't put them
Right.
per se up. I can't draw
Correct.
attention. And again, like I said, I hate that I get in trouble because I actually know a lot about this, but I get in trouble for it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and despite my arguments, and the time I even read directly from the CDC and the WHO websites, so
Right.
it's frustrating. It really is frustrating that my
Mm-hmm.
hands are tied because I can add so much more context to this and
Right.
tell you a lot. And I know someone who is a practicing nurse practitioner and is a great resource if you have any questions too, but they can't give medical advice. They can just answer basic questions. So, oh my gosh, hold on. I gotta.
Um,
People always call at the worst times. I'm telling you,
Tell me
they
about
do.
it.
But so that's something that if you guys want, you can jump on the Discord server. The Rumble bot just posted it up a little bit in the link. I don't
I
know if
was,
it's posted
yeah,
over to YouTube, but everyone on the YouTube one is already, I believe,
yeah,
on our
yeah.
server. So,
Frosty, are you part of the Discord? And if not, we could drop it to you.
oh, the link is only a few comments up.
Okay, so
But
Frosty,
that's
if you're
something
not
I
part,
don't
yeah,
mind giving more context on. But again, I will never give medical advice. I will always tell you to go to your doctor for further information.
correct,
But when it comes to further context of, you know, certain things, I can discuss pros and cons and options that you can discuss with your doctor so you're not going in completely unaware of what to talk about.
right,
You know, that kind of stuff. Nothing
right,
like I'm not going to go tell you to take fish tank cleaner to
mm-hmm,
treat a virus. I will tell you to talk to your doctor. Okay, I
right,
am not that person.
right.
So,
Do you want to
um,
read? Can we pull up what JJ says?
um,
Tiptoe around video platforms suck for a real free speech platform. Use
use pilled.
Bill.net. I didn't pull the link. You less you want the link. Yes. We would like the link.
Actually, yeah, if you could,
Yeah, JJ,
drop
can
it.
you put it in the Discord for us?
Or I don't. I think JJ's in our Discord, but if not, you can always drop it to me in DMs and I'll move it over.
Okay, sounds
I
good.
think that's a good idea, maybe to get pilled, and um, we'll see. We'll see what we can pull off,
Hmm.
even if we can't stream directly there, or if we can. I appreciate the expansion ideas and tips of what to do.
Right. Thanks, Blue Rose, for posting the Discord link. All right, what do we got
Thank
up
you.
next there, CrazyBee?
Um, 1 second while I move this over here and share this tab instead. Sorry.
Yeah, I
Uh,
had heard this and I forgot all about this, but when I was doing some searching, I didn't know how many people forgot about this, and we actually made a comment. We were talking about change monetary change last week and what we keep and what we don't keep. Like I have a whole polar water jug of pennies, and I was asking if there was anything in there that was, worthwhile. Should I just have them taken to the coin store and all bundled up? Or could there be potentially the $5 million penny that would be life changing? And CrazyBee said I had to go through every penny. So I guess that's going to take a while. So this article is back from February that says goodbye to the penny. So if you'll scroll up, CrazyBee.
Uh-huh.
And basically, we don't need, so it says, goodbye, humble penny. The government made its last order of penny blanks earlier this month. A spokesperson for the Treasury Department confirmed to Business Insider. The U.S. Mint will keep manufacturing the penny coins until it runs out of blanks, they said, meaning the penny will gradually fall out of circulation. The U.S. Mint estimates that phasing out the coin will save $56 million annually in. Scroll
Oh, sorry. Trying to find my inhaler. I started wheezing again.
That's from laughing at me. In material costs, the spokesperson said, each coin costs more than 3 cents to make, and the U.S. Mint's 2024 report found that cost increased by 20.2% that year. Savings will probably rise once the U.S. Mint changes how it uses production facilities, the spokesperson said. The White House DOGE office targeted the penny, an easy punching bag when it comes to government waste, earlier this year. In January, DOGE's X account highlighted the coin's cost, though Musk's group didn't have the power to get rid of the penny. President Donald Trump criticized the penny in a Truth Social point in February. DOGE wasn't alone in its critique. Politicians across the aisle have criticized how much the penny cost, though decades-old efforts to phase out the coin have stalled in Congress time and again. For all the penny haters, the coin does have at least one strong advocate, Mark Weller, who runs the pro-penny group Americans for Common Sense. He has worked for the company that won a contract with the U.S. Mint to produce the modern penny blanks that are made mainly of zinc.
That explains why.
Weller told BI that this isn't expected given Trump's and DOGE's previous comments. He also said he believes that the nickel is a bigger issue than the penny and that nickel production will rise if the 1 cent coin is phased out. The hill is steep right now, Weller said, of convincing the powers that be to keep the penny, though he noted that he's having conversations with people at the Treasury. Other countries such as Canada and Sweden have stopped producing pennies, and in 2022 survey by the scroll up please
Okay, there it is.
The 2022 survey by the progressive think tank Data for Progress, 58% of respondents said they agreed the government should stop making the coin. When moment please hold. Jacob Thomas, when groceries get here, you have to go down and get them in the house to help Happy. What time? I don't know, between 4 and 6. So. I was going to take him to get a haircut, so. Well, if they're not back, that's fine. The penny is embedded in.
Oh, I thought we lost you.
We're good. The penny is embedded in American history and remains a forgotten staple at the bottom of many purses. The coin was first issued in 1793, meaning it will have had a more than 230-year run.
I think that's it. Yep.
Yeah.
But I like what JJ had to add.
Which is? With
With
crazy bee,
CrazyBee, go
go
ahead.
ahead. With crazy
Oh,
bee laughing at D, the wheezing byproduct is the inhaler. D said she has her ways, lol. Yeah, I do. And I have my own inhaler too. And I have a nebulizer too. I do have oxygen, which, hey, why wear it? But whatever. That's another story for another day. I do have an issue with not having the penny because what does that mean for the American consumer?
I'm sorry. Say that again. A video decided to start playing from some random tab.
Okay, so I do have an issue with them phasing out the penny and even potentially, say, the nickel. With that phase out of the penny, what does that mean for the American consumer once it's phased out?
Yeah.
That means what? It
Well,
means that we're
that
going to
we won't
pay,
have to pay 99 cents for something anymore.
yeah,
It'll
it's
just
going to
be rounded
cost a
up to.
dollar. It's going to cost a dollar. So we're going to pay more
Mhm.
for products. There isn't
Or
any,
pay less. They might drop it down to 95 cents instead of 99.
oh, come on. Crazy
I'm
bee.
just
I can't believe that left your lips. Who's going to drop it down?
no, it's a stretch. Don't I
I
know.
mean, the dollar store went to $1.25. They're not going to go down to here's the 95-cent store,
Mhm.
right? And then if they get rid of the nickel, I mean, I had heard stories that they were going to get rid of, like, why do we even have coins at all? But
Mhm.
then why do we have bills? And that's why we hear all this stuff about cryptocurrency and all of that. But or get a chip thrown, put into your hand, and all you do is swipe your hand when you go through the store. That's
Yeah.
not. I'm not doing that.
I don't know if I would trust that. I don't
Nope.
like the idea of that.
Nope. I don't like it either because you can't guarantee what's on that chip. You know. I can't imagine that really is
It's been
all
a part of our lives for so long.
right. Right. Hmm. So many things. The dollar coins and the 50-cent coins and all that
The $2
disappeared.
bills.
Uh huh. Hmm. I mean, they even talked about getting rid of the dollar
Yep.
bill as well. I don't know where we're going to go from a monetary basis. It's going
Well,
to go
there's also that big push for digital currency, not
right.
just physical currency.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I don't know how I feel about digital yet. I don't. And I don't know enough about it, and so that whole genre of digital and all of that
Basically,
irk.
you're only ever going to use your debit card. You would never use physical cash or a
Right.
check, just a debit
Right.
card to pay for everything.
But where do you go to learn about things of that nature? Where do you go to learn about crypto and all of that? It's like, oh, here we go, and we're stirring. We must be talking too loud. One moment, please
Or
hold.
he's just waking up.
Crazy Bee's in charge. One moment, I will be back. Go ahead, Crazy Bee.
Okay. You should say hell no to digital currency. I absolutely agree. I don't like it. There gives the banking industry too much control over what you can and cannot do. I'm not a fan of it at all. Absolutely not a fan. Um, I just it's not right in my opinion. Um, and that was from JJ who said, "Say hell no to digital." R is saying, "I wondered how many transactions are by some form of card and how quickly that is increasing. Yeah. We have a tendency to use a card over cash a lot too. It's again a convenience thing. It really is. And it shouldn't be. I remember when the banks you would get charged extra to purchase a debit card from the bank, but your checks were free. Now you got to pay for your checks, but your debit card is free. I mean, that's how far back I go. I mean, hell, I remember when credit cards were the only cards and banks only had checks or cash. They
Right.
didn't even have a debit card. That was super rare.
And that,
So it's like,
yeah, and that just happened to us opening up one of our
mhm,
accounts for Wright Sisters that we had been waiting for our checks to come in for several weeks. And I finally
mhm.
called the bank and said, "Where's our checks?" And they said, "If you want checks, you have to pay for them." And we're like, "What?" And they said, "Well, you can get a debit card. We can mail you a debit card." And we were like, "Well, if we don't get checks, why didn't you mail us a debit card? Like, what were we supposed to use?" was the question. It was very strange.
Mhm.
Very strange.
Art says, "I generally, haven't carried cash for at least 10 years, and I can remember writing checks at the grocery store." Yep,
Hmm.
I'm that old too.
Well, you're going to think crazy, but I actually keep a check. I have my debit card, and I always have cash.
Mhm.
What are you doing? Could you be a little bit quiet? It's not your fault. Do you know how to? Do you need my help? Okay, one moment, please. Technical support for the 8-year-old. I shall return.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and jump to the next topic,
Go
and
ahead.
we'll get started on it.
Yep, go ahead.
They don't know what it
Um,
does. He said we just shoot it right in the
yep.
veins.
So
The FDA
InfoWars,
board, we don't know what's going to do. We got to just give it to
again,
kids, but it's safe and effective.
for that,
He
it's hit or
said
miss for me,
Elon
but
Musk is
a
going to
Senate
kill poor
Appropriation Committee
people.
hearing
And Elon Musk
revealed the
said, "You're the
Department
one
of
that's killing all the
Energy
kids, and you're the one
handed
hanging
out
out with
a
Jeffrey Epstein.
whopping
I wouldn't let you babysit
93
my kids."
billion to various
So it's an
entities
amazing
with
day,
no
to be here. The
oversight or
dam is completely broken in
accountability
my view.
during a
We'll get Steve Kirsch,
76-day transition
who's
of
a
power
philanthropist, a real one,
between the
executive director of the
2024
COVID-19
election
Early
and
Treatment
President
Fund and
Trump's
also the Vaccine
inauguration.
Safety Research Foundation.
That
He
is
is the inventor of
nuts.
the
And we
optical
do
mouse.
have the
Just goes
video
on and on.
of Kennedy.
Kirsch.substack.com.
So I can actually
St.
play
Kirsch
that.
on start wherever you
Questioning
want. The Senate
Secretary of
report
Energy Chris Wright on
saying
Wednesday,
don't
Senator
shot,
John
basically
Kennedy
banning it
asked,
unless you're
"Mr.
65.
Secretary, I want to go
All these
back
other
to some of
developments
your
of this
earlier
new giant
testimonies to be
compendium you put
sure I heard
together.
it
I mean,
correctly.
it's coming to a head, isn't
76-day
it?
period you're
It
talking about.
is.
That period
And there's
between the
almost
time that
there's so
President
much
Trump
to
was
choose from.
elected
It's a little
and
hard to
President
pick,
Biden
but
left
I
office.
think
And during the
I'm
short
gonna
period of
I'll
time,
start with
76 days,
the
how
article
much
that I just
taxpayer
published on
money
my
went out the
Substack,
door of the Department
and
of
this is
Energy?
a new method
Um,
for
and
analyzing
since I'm
data,
just quoting the
completely
video, let me
objective,
go ahead and
and it
pull up
just
the
yields a
video
result instantly.
instead
You feed in the data.
of
There's no
making y'all go through it
parameters
twice
really.
and killing my
It's just a
lungs.
start date and an
Give
end
me
date,
1 second.
and
I
that's
have that
it.
video. Where did I
And you
put
feed in the data. There are
it?
3 pieces of data that it works on. It
There it
works on your date of
is.
birth, date of death, and date of vaccination. That's it. You just put in
There it is.
record level data between
Okay, let's
one
switch to
record
the
for every
video since
person
this
saying,
article is a
here's when they
word
were
for word
born, here's
breakdown
when
of
they
the
were vaxxed,
video.
here's when they died. They didn't
CrazyBee,
die,
why are you
left blank.
talking and the video is playing at the same time?
What video? Oh, that video on from the news place?
InfoWorld? Yeah, from InfoWorld?
It's just it's an updated episode of InfoWars, not
Right,
actually pertaining to the topic.
but you were trying to talk and we couldn't hear what you had to say.
It's muted. It shouldn't be coming through.
No, it came through and Blue Rose also identified the same issue. We heard the whole thing and we didn't hear
Oh,
anything you
and
had
so
to
did
say.
JJ. Oh my god. I didn't see that because I was trying to read the article and I muted that.
Wow.
It literally says mute. It says unmute. I muted this, and I muted the whole damn tab. It should not be coming through. I don't like that. I don't
Wow.
like the InfoWars website. So, okay, let's listen to the hearing where John Kennedy questions them, because it'll be a lot easier than just
Okay,
reading
now
a transcript.
before you play that, so I'm not sure what picked up, but the past week between the time Trump was elected until he took office, there was 76 days. Biden and the Department of Energy spent 93 billion. Yes, billion with a B. And they have no idea where the money is.
Yep. And that last article you sent is covering the same thing, so I will leave
Okay,
it
so
in the
just do one
description.
and maybe just pop it up and then we'll drop it in the description just so they could see it.
Okay, let
Okay.
me share that really quick. Where was it? Not the InfoWars, it was this one. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Hold on, let me share that really fast. That way they can see it, and I will just throw it in the, oopsie. Hold on, let me do the right thing here. And that way there's a couple of articles for you guys to choose to watch.
Right.
So this is the Energy News Beat, and it has a breakdown of it as well. That'll be in the description
And I would
for you guys to read at your own pleasure.
yes, this one I read, I would recommend taking a read at that because it does come from the this energy group. I like that better than the InfoWars one.
Okay.
Okay, so
That
what
will
you
be
got?
in the description with the
Okay,
title of it.
cool.
Let's get through this video. It's a 10-minute video, even sped up.
Okay.
So we're going to try to get through it.
Cannabis.
Thank you, Senator. Mr. Secretary,
Why'd it
I
pause?
want to go back to some of your earlier testimony, be sure I heard it correctly. The 76-day period you're talking about, that's the period between the time that President Trump was elected and President Biden left office, is that right?
That is correct.
And during that short period of time,
From the loan program office in loans and commitments, $93 billion. Well over twice as much as in the previous 15 years. So
how do you vet and do due diligence on a loan in 76 days? One loan, much less $93 billion. How do you do it?
I think it's probably pretty clear it wasn't done in many cases. As I mentioned, I'm told I'm holding back clearly in place stuff. There is lots of funds that have gone out the door and commitments that were made from businesses that provided no business plan, no numbers about their own financial solvency or how this project
So
can
you're
actually
telling
work.
me that the Department of Energy, in the 76-day period, before their boss was going to leave office, gave or loaned money to entities that had no business plan,
Correct.
no
Some people better
financials?
go to jail.
Correct. A number of those were before the 76-day period as well. I've come in with great concern about how this institution, this great American institution, has been run and how American taxpayer money has been handled. I'm sorry everyone's upset that we're taking some time to do it, But what we've seen
I'm
and what
not
the
upset.
record shows
I'm
is
not
just
upset. Could it be
irresponsible.
that a lot of people say you haven't returned your calls? Could it be that you and your colleagues have returned the calls, but the people calling just didn't like the answer? Could that be a possibility?
I'm not aware of that. You know, I give my cell phone number to any senator that
I know
wants
you
it,
do.
and I return my calls.
I mean, has your department gone dark? Somebody said your department's gone dark. Is it dark over there?
It doesn't look dark behind me.
I don't see any of you sitting on your hands. Somebody made that charge. I see everybody's hands. Let me ask you something else, Mr. Secretary. Does anybody ever come to the Department of Energy to get some of this free money and lie to you?
I have not experienced that, but I think it's a reasonable assumption that that has happened.
Does anybody ever come to you? Or is it conceivable that some of these folks that heard about this free money came to you with a half-baked idea?
I think it's very conceivable. In fact, I've seen such plans that were
You've seen
half-baked would be
plans
charitable.
that didn't have a business plan, right?
Correct. A promise to develop one, to find a location.
Just give me the money and I'll develop the plan later.
Correct.
And now you're going back through, not money that's already been contracted, but you're going back through and checking each one of these loans and these grants to make sure there was no stealing, aren't you?
We are.
And you make sure there was no incompetence, aren't you? Is that correct?
We're looking at that, and yeah, my blood pressure is rising right now just thinking about what we have seen and what did happen at the department.
And you're going to tell some of these boondoggles no, aren't you?
That's correct.
And they're going to be upset, aren't they?
That's correct.
And they ought to be upset, shouldn't they?
I don't think they should be upset. I think they should be ashamed.
It's rare that I'm speechless. But I want to be sure I understood. The people running the Department of Energy for President Biden's administration shoveled $93 billion, not million, $93 billion out the door in 76 days, and it just happened to be the time between when President...
And that's what's, this is what bothers me is, okay, they're overseeing this and they don't notice this massive change in their bank accounts. Like, am I the only one who thinks there's something that, everyone working there maybe needs to be out of a job if they can't?
Say that again, CrazyBee, about bank.
Okay, so this secretary dude is sitting there trying to say they just sent the money out. You didn't notice the bank account draining
right
this entire time, and maybe
but he
say,
wasn't there.
What's going on?
But he wasn't there till after Trump got in office.
He's the new one.
Correct.
Okay, well, I hope every single person that was there and in charge of this stuff sees a jail cell.
Don't hold your breath.
I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm an asthmatic.
This is the shit that is totally unacceptable.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is.
If it isn't one thing, it's another thing. I mean, truly, when we talk about waste, how could $96 billion be sent
93.
out? 93 be sent out in 76 days.
And to businesses that have no plan.
Or, I mean, is that where it really went? Who knows? I mean, somebody should start to follow the money to who it was given to. They claim they're going to review every single thing, right?
Yeah, right.
Uh-huh. That there are some legit people that are in there. But, I don't necessarily believe that.
I don't either.
Bullshit.
I really just don't.
Right.
Let me get through these last few minutes.
Go ahead.
President Trump was elected and President Biden, their boss, was leaving. Is that right?
It is correct and distasteful. Confidence undermining.
My God. Look, I hope you take whatever time you need to go through all of these projects.
Trump came in, he already said to cut down on the numbers of federal employees. Maybe they just gave loans to themselves
Yeah,
or to their family members.
yeah, but the federal employees, that all was blocked by judges, and they were told that they all had to report back to work.
Yeah, but they didn't know that when this
Well, that's
happened.
what I'm saying. Let's look at their bank accounts. For
Uh-huh.
example, there was a girl that worked for me. Fortunately, I had already been gone when this happened. And again, I'm always kind of like the last to know and very surprised. But when I worked in the police department, you were charged for a copy of any type of police report. Okay, so if you were in a car accident, if you were in an altercation, somebody robbed you, stole something from your home, you had to pay to get a copy of the report. Okay,
Yeah.
somehow she took a check that was made out to the treasurer, went to the bank, and convinced them to open up an account. She ultimately stole $35,000, and she felt so guilty she turned herself in, and they prosecuted her and she went to jail. But how does that happen? How is it that you take a check made out to the treasurer? It identifies the city's name. She opened up the account, put all the checks in there,
All
and
around.
and drew down $35,000. So she turned herself in, and they ultimately, went through all of her banking information and all of that. But why can't they look at these bank accounts and see if there was any increases?
Oh, they can, and they're probably going to.
You think?
They better.
I would hope. Okay. Hey,
Give me
Four Corners,
1
glad
second
you
while
could
I keep
join us.
breathing.
Yeah, thank you, Four Corners.
Yes, thank you for popping in.
What does
Much
Art
appreciated.
Yeah, Art says even people who have a plan don't necessarily deserve a loan. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And
You
what
might
was
think it's a good plan, but the bank is going to see the things that you're not seeing.
when COVID hit? They were offering what was the heck of the name of the plan? Oh, sugar. Was it the PIP? Fudge, I can't think of the name of it anyway. It was for you to retain your employees, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I submitted a plan, and they came back and said, well, we'll give you $2,000. And we were like, what? That isn't even one person's paycheck. And they were supposed to be off for, however long. And then you turn around and you come to find out people like, do you recall Barbara Streisand got her
Uh-huh.
gardener? They
Yep.
paid her $35,000. So how is it that there was, all right, my love, Mimi's here.
Oh, he's getting fussy.
No, he did pretty good, right? Ah, here, listen, Papa. Come on, here you go. All right.
We're going to have to get him his own account and pull him up on here as a guest.
Yes, we will. We'll get it figured out. Are you done
I
working?
love it.
Okay, Leslie is done working. She's going to take her babasa. Say, there's Mommy. Okay. say he did pretty good, Mom.
What time did he fall asleep at time?
Probably around 1:15.
Okay.
So that wasn't too bad.
No, that's good.
So if I can push him a little bit, I mean, he still looks tired. Sorry, guys, I digress. He was a little.
Oh no, everyone's saying sweet baby. Or JJ is. I'm sure others are thinking it.
Yeah. He was fussing, like dreaming and squawking a little bit, but I think he's still tired a little bit.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Thanks, Les. So I don't understand how all these processes work. No, the PIP programs, if that's the name of it, that if I recall, had to go to your individual bank, who was the one, I guess, that made the determinations. So it apparently, in my case, with employees and the little bit of $2,000 that we were given, but then you have Barbara Streisand's Gardner getting $35,000. Make that make sense. How much? And they claim that a lot of that money disappeared, that they don't know where it went to. So, how much money in? And that's another thing. Right now, you're hearing the Dems complain about Medicaid being cut. And
well, maybe they shouldn't have sent out billions of dollars to people who didn't actually deserve it.
Correct. And that's,
I mean, common sense.
right. Well, they had people on the rolls that, again, just like Social Security, they found, how was somebody, like, who got the check for the people that were 115 years old?
Yeah.
Let's call this a day.
Well, and again, if you look at seemed like a massive push to force people onto basic wages, aka communism, socialism. It
Right.
seemed like a giant push. They used the COVID as an excuse to push it
Correct.
and get people hooked on not working and just living off of what the state gives you every month.
Right.
No,
Right.
no, it didn't go very well, obviously.
Yep. Doesn't make any sense, does it?
But
So
Art sent you a
now,
comment.
now, thank you. No, it's Nene when we're in grandma mode, Art.
He did that on purpose for the LOLs.
Oh, he's trolling me then? Okay, Art,
Yeah,
I'll get you
that's
back.
him being silly.
All right. No. So it's so frustrating with nobody is responsible for any of this. This information is being put out there. Where is the night? I want the money back. And if not, somebody has to go to jail for it. But nobody is. You know what I mean? How do you, how do you, I'm laughing because EJ's talking so loud. I can hear him over the phone. I hope you guys can hear him.
It's
Anyway,
muffled in the background.
okay.
And yeah, it's just this is what we call life. And if people don't like it, sorry.
I know. I
Lives.
apologize.
But here, let me hit play to get through the last 5 minutes, and
Okay.
hopefully he'll be done talking by then.
Okay, go ahead.
Penny by penny. I mean, I've heard this testimony today. Well, it'll cost jobs in my state. If somebody steals $50 million and goes and spends the money in their state, that's going to stimulate the economy, isn't it?
Yes, it will.
But that's still stealing, isn't it? And it's still illegal, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, they were spending money at the Department of Energy like it was ditch water. Their budget went from $60 billion to $160 billion since fiscal year 2021. It just sounds to me like there were a lot of people coming to the Department of Energy who had all
One
4
moment,
feet in their
please. I'm
snout in the
experiencing
trough.
Oh,
difficulty. I shall return. I'm okay. I'll be
okay.
back.
All right.
Are you on your way home yet?
And I hope you'll turn down the boondoggles and refer the thieves to the Department of Justice.
Hold on a second. What?
We will indeed. Senator, the one complication in there too is mixed in there are good companies doing good things honestly
Okay,
with
so-
credible
And that-
plans.
And you're trying to separate the wheat from the chaff.
Yes, that's what we're trying to do. That's our job, and we're doing it.
Yes.
Thank you.
But there's a lot of chaff.
Let me ask you one final question.
Too many talk.
Let me go back to how many employees you have.
Eric's walking.
Now, there have been some allegations today that you've cut tens of thousands of employees. Is that accurate?
Well, I think the allegations were thousands, and
Okay.
our head count will ultimately be reduced by thousands, but we are doing it
You've got
slowly.
16,000 now,
Yes,
and you think you can do it with fewer than 16,000.
correct.
What's wrong with that?
I think it's just common sense business.
Yeah. Businesses do it every day in the
Prove it.
That's never happened in the federal government. I mean, it's easier to divorce your spouse than to get rid of a federal employee up here. That's not the
True.
way
That
the
is
world
so
works, is it,
true.
Mr. Secretary?
It's not the way the world should work. And I give enormous credit to President Trump, who had the boldness to say, if there's a right thing that needs to be done and it's difficult, please do it. And so, yes, this is new territory. This is not what happens normally in the federal government, but it is what needs to happen periodically in the federal government. And I give the credit to President Trump, who's willing to take the heat and has set the departments free. Make the changes you need to make to better serve American taxpayers and American consumers. And across his administration, that's what's being done.
All right, on that note, I just wanted to clear that up, Mr. Secretary, because I don't know you to be a person who doesn't return his phone calls or take care of business. And my guess is you don't tolerate people around you who take a cavalier approach to their job. And I wanted to get that on the record. I applaud you for being able to do the job with fewer people. Thank you for being here today. Thank you to all of your staff. Y'all can't take the rest of the day off. It's still, the hearing record's going to remain open for a week. Some senators may send you additional questions. They might submit additional.
Okay, I don't think we're going to get much more information beyond
No,
that
we're
at this
not.
point, so
And
no point going from there.
one comment is, I think the 16,000 employees being reduced, that seems like a huge number to me. I'd be curious as to what those positions are. And then,
And that's one of the things, like, I've noticed, like, I worked in a doctor's office that hired twice as many medical assistants as they really needed.
right,
Why? We have enough to do what needs to be done. Why are you hiring more? You hire as you need more, not hire more and then try to find doctors
right,
for them to assist. I mean,
right.
duh. Like,
Uh,
oh, my
and
head hurts with that nonsense.
yeah. So, did we make note of Art's comment if I approve some of the loan the government's made?
Yes, I did
Okay.
talk about that. Yep.
Thank you, JJ, for that. I don't have to apologize. I'll try not to keep saying I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're not Canadian. Sorry, I had to throw that out there. I used to live right next door to Canada, so I get
Okay.
away with it.
I'll try not to. And then Art says, so DOGE cuts the head count, and then we went, all of this stuff looked at with fewer people. Doesn't sound like the best plan, but whatever. Art, we don't want the asylum
Investigating itself.
That's correct. So we need an outside agency to come in and take a look at it. That's what needs
Yeah,
to
because
happen.
I can investigate myself for tax fraud and find myself innocent.
And then find further deductions, right?
Yeah. Oh, I missed some deductions that you guys actually owed me from the past 30 years. I mean,
Exactly.
this is why we don't investigate ourselves. And for the government to investigate itself, it's kind of redundantly ridiculous for
Hmm.
the government to do that. And
Right.
I've always had a problem with it. And I've always said we need an outside group to audit our government and not the
Well,
government auditing
and,
themselves.
and I necessarily wouldn't make it the same outside group, because then additional
I'd like to rotate
production
it.
it would just occur. For example, I don't, is it okay to name a company, or would that be
I would take the risk of
okay?
naming
All right,
companies.
then we won't name the company, but a very high profile company that does accounting, human resources, etc., got into some significant trouble for things of this nature, repeatedly going in and doing the audits. And the there ended up being some kickbacks and things of that nature. Make the audit look board to the board of directors, and here's a couple extra dollars that we'll give to you. So I would want. I
Mhm.
know that in several companies I worked with, we did contracts at the most up to 3 years with a particular company, and then I always put a RFP out and for bid, and then we determined what we were going to do with that person. So
Yeah.
it's a tough call. I mean, I'm not going to hold my breath on this. Art says it doesn't matter because it will always be the government investigating itself. DOGE doesn't even know what to ask for, what to look for. Art, I disagree, and we'll see if we can maybe get you to change your mind a little bit when we do the DOGE reporting that we're going to do. Nah, I doubt it. We ain't going to get him to change his mind. Who am I kidding? But anyway, we're going to do a DOGE update and see what we get out of that. That's probably coming in the next several weeks. With that being
And then
said,
JJ says government to investigate itself as a blatant conflict of interest.
right,
Art adds, if you're Doge, you just see Medicare paying 200K for a wheelchair, 2K for a wheelchair. You have no idea if that's a good price unless you know what it should cost. And I mean, I don't like, well, they found like in the Social Security, these checks that were being sent out with no tracking identifier.
right,
And obviously that stands out and needs to be investigated. Medicare actually surprisingly pisses me off with this. What you're explaining about the 2000 for the wheelchair, actually they will spy you the cheapest, shittiest wheelchair and expect you to make do with it, and they
right,
pocket the difference um that
correct.
it would have been.
That's how they make their money, right?
That's how they make their money.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And
And
then,
I'm not a fan of how Medicare buys their equipment. They
right,
actually don't get the most durable out there sometimes.
correct.
They will get you the cheap off brand store walker before they will give you a decent, durable one that's got a
And
good
I'm,
record.
yeah, and I'm proof of that. When I was in the skilled
Oh,
nursing
yeah.
facility in January,
The
I
wheelchair
had,
the doctor wanted you to get, and Medicare's like,
yep,
screw you. That ain't
uh-huh.
happening.
And I had a gorgeous wheelchair, rubber wheels. I mean, it was the most comfortable thing I've ever sat in. They were supposed to get it to me. They came and said, D, insurance will not cover it. This is the one you need to, that they'll provide. Do you want it? And I said, well, if that's what it is, it's better than what I have right now. When that sucker
Mhm.
came, when you compared the two, because I was they brought it into my room to be fitted. So I had the
Cadillac compared to a Prius.
What's lower than a Prius?
There isn't.
We went from rubber wheels to Matchbox plastic wheels. I don't even think I could use it to get up the driveway or over the gravel. There was absolutely no comparison whatsoever. It was just absolutely ridiculous. So, I don't know, it's frustrating. The other thing, what about our, Defense Department and the military and the waste and abuse and fraud that goes there? When you're paying $25 for a screw.
Yeah.
How does this stuff get reined in where,
Yeah, go to Lowe's, get the 50-cent screw.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it is a lot of faith with what Art's saying here. We are having to trust, but we also trusted the government, and look what happened. So, putting a degree of faith in an outsider to help find, I guarantee they didn't find trillions of dollars. I think they found a couple billion.
Right.
But, but some is better than none, and keeping going with what we had.
Right.
And yeah, I don't like when people exaggerate.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons I don't like Trump, but something is better than nothing.
And it's obvious that the OMB and other places are not doing the job that they're supposed to be. So, the government offices that are supposed to be the watchdogs aren't doing it.
And they're not doing their jobs because they're probably getting payoffs and kickbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's just how bureaucracy runs. And again, I've never liked the system. I know it's never going to be perfect. There is no such thing because corruption exists.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we need to have civilians paying attention to the numbers on the books. Yes, we're not experts in what the government's coding and stuff is, but I don't trust anybody who wants to go into the government. Most have personal motivations, not what's best for the country. Exactly,
Okay,
my
so
point.
hold on, Art. So CrazyBee and I said that we would do it.
Mm-hmm.
So are you saying that we're corrupt then?
We'll probably end up corrupt after about 4 years.
I would hope not, but
I would hope not, but I mean, when you look at the pushback and the blackmail that'd be coming our way,
yeah.
I mean, you can't tell me you've had a perfect life and nothing in your history could be dug up on you.
Oh, hell no. But pretty much there's not much you don't know.
And yes,
so,
it would be used and it could be hurtful or it could be not.
Mm-hmm.
So again, this is what everyone going into Congress or any political situation goes through.
Right.
Do as I say, or this gets released and your life gets ruined.
Right. Okay, let's finish up these comments and close it for today because we're over.
Oh, we are. Shit.
Yes. So, go ahead.
Okay, so he says, so question 1, what is in it for Elon? He's pretty much about Elon, just like Trump is about Trump. And no, I'm sure he's got a contract with Space Force or SpaceX or whatever the fuck it is. Oh, I'm absolutely positive he's getting a contract out of this.
I love you. But Biden was for Biden and the Biden crime family. And Obama was for Obama. And the Clintons were for the Clintons. And the Bushes were for the Bushes. They're all
basically,
for
we're still
themselves.
accepting bad characters just for a different party.
I guess. I mean, who isn't?
That's what I even said about George Soros and Elon Musk buying politicians for the future.
Well, I'm not comfortable with it. And my thing was, yeah, Elon Musk is going to primary the rhinos, and you have a problem with that. I know you don't. The fact of the matter is, though, in my opinion, Soros was out to destroy the country, I believe that Elon is looking out for the country. He wants candidates in that are to support Trump's agenda. And if you don't support his agenda, then you need to go. Time will tell if we are wrong or not, right? Now, how is that any different than any of the silent billionaires, millionaires, Hollywood people,
dumping money into campaigns.
yes,
And that's why I think they shouldn't
lobbyists,
have that ability. We
correct,
need to get rid of the lobbyists. We need to get rid of these philanthropists donating money. No,
correct. I agree.
enough of it. It's
Yep,
based on what we want, not what the billionaire with the money to pay for it wants.
correct,
And I know, Art, you're not saying it's a new thing. It's not. All we're doing is changing the faces, and that's not necessarily going to fix it. It's
right.
just changed from one extreme to another. And I like the middle ground. I'm sick of the pendulum going to the extremes and never stopping in the middle.
Oh, we had a big piggy over there. Oh, good job, JJ. Wow, we didn't do too bad for our first day.
Nope, we did good.
Mm-hmm.
But
So, what do you say, CrazyBee? We shut it down today and pick it up tomorrow. I've been up
I
for
agree, because
um,
tomorrow is Maxine Waters and that what's her face with the pink
the
hair,
pink
not the
hair.
purple hair, the pink haired
Yeah, we got
crazy
another
one.
one. Yeah, we got another whack job to discuss. You thought the purple haired lady was wild. Wait till you see the pink haired one.
Oh yeah.
So we got a busy day. Maxine Waters is probably going to take up several days. We will have additional content rather than you just listening to us drone about her. But Maxine's pretty busy, so
I compiled a bunch of the videos into one so we don't have to watch a bunch of individuals. We can just
thank
do
you
one
very
long
much.
compilation of her from all the way back in the 90s to modern time BS.
Great.
There's one small compilation, one large compilation video that we can pause at any time.
Cool. That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. All
And
right. Well,
Art
then,
says discussion for a different place. I'll leave it here. And that's
okay.
what Discord's for.
Right. Absolutely.
That's why we have it.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, JJ. Much appreciated.
Yes, thank you very much.
So,
And with that, I appreciate everybody and their support on our first day as we have the journey of little baby JJ.
yep.
And thank you, CrazyBee, for whispering.
Even though it really doesn't make a difference, but yeah,
You know, but
I
it
whisper.
was pretty funny you just following my lead without even recognizing it. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, everybody in the
You're
chat
very
for
welcome.
supporting having the baby with
And thank you
us.
to the chat for whispering as well.
Yes, we appreciate the whispers. All right, guys, I'm done. I'm out. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Y'all stay safe, stay sane, stay sober. We'll catch y'all tomorrow.